remember these things. Just write something down. Just to recap on what, just to check if we still remember. So this is what we so this is what we talked about before. That's what I'm saying, just want to recap. Let me know. Do you still remember that? Let me know. Let me know the chat. Yes, yes, yes. Let me see on the chat. Thank you so much. So I just want to thank you so much for that. Sama, Liam, thank you so much for the feedback. I want you to tell me, what if it was under markup on selling price? How would it change? Please just write it on the chat and tell me what you think it will change if it was under markup on selling price. Will it stay the same or will it change? Let me see. Let me know, guys. Now I'm talking about. I'm trying to analyze like this one. If the markup is on cost, will I analyze the same way? Guys, I'm waiting for you. Come on, you must tell me. I showed you these things before. Any question? Can you see my screen now? Because I can see my screen here. Let me know if you can see the screen. Can you now see the screen? What's happening here? Because from my side, it's working. Can't see the screen anymore. Huh, I don't know what's happening. Screen is gone. Let me try to reshare. Maybe it will. Sorry guys, a little bit of network. I don't know what's happening. Let me rejoin, guys. I'm gonna switch off and rejoin.
Can you see my screen now, guys?
Thank you, Rolin, for that. Thank you, guys. So I had to disconnect and reconnect. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. I don't know what happened. Yeah. So any questions, guys? Thank you, Mbaza. Any question, guys, when it comes to this? Do you understand this? This is what I've shown you before. You must go and know these things. Otherwise, you're going to be wrong. Okay. So when they say the markup is on cost, you need to show in this way. When the markup is on selling price, you need to show it in this way. I hope everyone understands. But the question is, why do I have to use this? It's because remember, we are in business. So if you are in business, you need to ask yourself a question. Remember, now you are ready to sell. If I may do this, let me change this, change the color here. So now you are ready to sell. So it means when you go and sell, I'm going to use this markup on cost. So if you're about to sell, it means you need to sell your goods at what? At 125% so that you can gain 25%. But let's say, for example, the goods which you are going to sell for 125, let's say that 125 is equivalent to 1,500. If you are going to sell these goods for 1,500, before you can sell them, you must ask yourself a question here and say, now I'm ready to sell. But ask yourself a question. Are we registered for VAT? That's the question that we need to ask ourselves. So this means we are asking ourselves, are we VAT vendors? So we need to ask ourselves this question and say, are we, sorry guys, I just said, I meant are we, let me just quickly change it. Are we registered for it? Remember, we are running a business. Are we registered for VAT? So if the answer is yes, it means we cannot sell the goods for how much? For 1,500. We must first include the VAT here. I'm just going to come with a random figure here. Let's say the VAT was 25 rands. So meaning I will add VAT of what? Of 25 rands. This will be the VAT that I must add. And then it means I'm going to sell my goods for how much? If you may check here, it means I have to sell my goods for, I have to sell them for 1,525. I'm just giving you a random example. So you need to ask yourself a question before you can sell. So if you were not registered for VAT, if you are not a VAT vendor, yes, you can now go and sell your goods for how much? For 1,500. But the minute you are registered for VAT, it means you have to charge VAT. Here, for example, the VAT is 25 rand. It means when I sell my goods, I need to sell my goods for 1,525. Why? Because 25 rands belongs to SARS. That's a fact. So 25 rands belongs to SARS. SARS is where we pay tax, okay? And then this means 1,500 belongs to us. I hope it makes sense. So that's why today I'm going to introduce VAT. But just know that VAT will only come after we knew how we're going to sell our items for. How much are we going to sell our goods for? Let me see on the chat if everything makes sense. Yes, yes, yes. I want to see my 13 yeses. Unless if you've got a question, let me see whether you understand or not. Let me see. Yes, 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 guys. Hopefully you can hear me clearly. Thank you, Liam. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate. I appreciate very, very much. Thank you so much. Okay, so it means we need to understand. So it doesn't matter as long as you know that you're a VAT vendor. VAT is going to be in test number 3. Remember, I said you need to focus on unit number 1 and 2. So VAT is part of unit number 3. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now I'm gonna erase everything and take it to the next level. So now I'm gonna focus on the VAT. I just want to explain VAT nicely for you. Okay. So I'm gonna clear. You study unit number 1 to 2, Zama. 1 to 2. Okay. Yes. So if you go and check unit number 1 to 2, everything under unit number 1 to 2, I don't know the content of the test. I just know that the test will be assessed from unit number 1 to 2, meaning everything we did so far, we need to know it. Okay. Yes. So I'm going to clear everything so that I can explain VAT better. Okay. So I'm going to talk about VAT. And VAT, who can tell me what does VAT stands for? Value added. This is what you need to know about VAT. So VAT stands for value added tax. So this is what you normally pay. Thank you, Refense, for that. This is what you normally pay when you buy something. Thank you, Mbaza. It means, I think these messages are delayed. I think it's the networks. Sorry about that. So it means you need to charge VAT when you sell, because if you don't charge VAT, SARS will end up claiming VAT from you. If I may ask, currently, how much is the VAT rate? How much is the VAT rate, if I may ask? Thank you so much, Vin. The VAT rate is currently 15%. Thank you, King, Refense, everyone. Thank you so much. So VAT is currently 15%. If I may ask, before it was 15%, how much was VAT? Just for interest's sake. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Jaden, Vin, Liam, Tino, thank you. 14%. So, but we must know that from now on, we have got to use what? 15%. Okay. Now, I'm just going to put some little bit of a diagram here. Here I've got a business, my business. So I'm just going to put a business, my business. Okay. So I've got a business here. This business of mine, obviously, I need to buy, and I also need to sell. So meaning in business, we need to go and buy stuff. So we need to go and make sure that we buy. So I'm just going to say we buy here. Remember, in business, we buy and we sell. And then thereafter, after buying, what do? We sell. So obviously, we buy from the suppliers. We buy from the suppliers. Okay? We buy from the suppliers. And we sell to the customers. That's a very simple distribution channel. Okay? So I want you to look at this. So we go and we buy so that we can sell to our customers, but we buy from our suppliers. Okay? So we need to make sure we understand. That is the logic. So it means when the business goes and buy from the suppliers, it means suppliers will have to charge us VAT. Okay? So that VAT that is charged by our suppliers is called input VAT. It's called input VAT. You see, it's the one that we as the business pay to the supplier. Okay? But remember, at the same time, we need to go and sell this to the customers. Now, what do we call that VAT? That VAT is called output. I think it makes sense. Here the goods are coming in, here the goods are going out. So you need to be careful and know what do we call the VAT that is paid by us when we buy from the suppliers, and what do we call the VAT that we charge our customers. Here we charge our customers. So this VAT is charged to the customers. And this VAT is charged to us as a business, which is input VAT. Guys, let me see on the chat if it makes sense. Let me see, yes, if it makes sense so far, because you need to follow before we can say it makes. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. So it must make sense. Okay. What I want you to know, you must know that if you bought something from the suppliers and they charged you VAT, like I said, that VAT is called what? Input VAT. You need to know that this VAT at the end of the day is claimable or refundable from SARS. Or you can call it refundable. So meaning SARS will have to give us that money back. Can you see now? So you must know that as long as you bought, remember, you bought from the suppliers, they charged you this VAT, meaning this VAT belongs to SARS. They will pay this to SARS. So as a business, at the end of the day, you are going to go to SARS and get this money back. Yes, Liam, you are correct. It doesn't matter which form of VAT are you talking about. The fact is the calculations will be based on 15%. Here, I'm just explaining the difference so that you can know which one can you claim back and which one you have to pay. Does that make sense, Liam? Okay. Now, what about the input VAT? Remember, the input VAT is the VAT that you are going to charge your customers. So when you charge the customers that input VAT, that output VAT, the output VAT does not belong to you. It is payable to SARS. Is payable to SARS. Okay. There's a question: if us as a business is not charged VAT by our suppliers, you can only charge J if you as the business, you are registered for VAT. Yes, you must first be registered for VAT. You need to go and charge VAT. But if you're not registered for VAT, you cannot charge VAT. Okay. Liam said, so we can't claim back on the VAT we add on to the product. Yes, you cannot, because the one that you add on your product, that one belongs to SARS. You have to go and pay to SARS. That is called output VAT, Liam. only VAT we have to pay to the other supplier. So if you paid VAT to the other suppliers, that VAT is the one that you can go and claim it from SARS. Thank you so much, Liam, for that. I hope everything makes sense for now, because I just want you to understand which one is payable. Remember, if I say payable, it means you must go and pay it to someone else. It's not your money. But this one is claimable. This means that you can go back and claim it back. So I want you to understand the logic around this one. Okay. For the fact that this amount is claimable, it means it is a good thing for our business because we're going to get that money back. So you will classify it as what? As the current asset because it belongs to the business. Can you see now? As long as it's claimable or refundable, it's going to be what? Current asset. But what about the one that you collected from your customers? The one that you collected from the customers is payable, like I said. If it is payable at the end of the day, it means I owe it. It means if I want to classify it in the books of accounts, this will be classified as a current liability because it's a short-term liability. Can you see now? So this is what I want you to understand, guys. So you need to understand the logic around this. So firstly, input is the one that I can claim back. Something that is claimable is good for the business. That's why we call it current asset. But what about the one that I charged customers? Remember this one, the output is the one that I charged customers. When I charge the amount of money as output VAT to customers, that money does not belong to me. It belongs to SARS. It means I need to go and pay to SARS. It means the money that I have that I collected from my customers is a current liability because I have to pay back SARS. Vin says, why would they charge you VAT if you can later go and claim it back? Is because at the end of the day, not all the items you can claim back on. You'll see when I progress to the next stage, some items you cannot claim back and some items you can claim back. Can you see now? So it's not always the case that you are allowed to claim back. But yes, you can go and claim back. Why? I think in a way they're encouraging people to be in businesses so that they can, even if you are in business, you are offering employment to the people or in citizens of South Africa. Can you see now? So it means again that is another way of doing that. But SARS is very clever because in most cases, what you can claim is less than what you owe SARS. Can you see now? So they know that even if you can claim, but you're gonna pay more to them at the end of the day. But that's how everything is structured. Yes, you can claim it, but not everything can be claimed back. You will see at a later stage when I explain. Only other things can be claimed back. Are you okay, Vin, with that? Thank you so much for that. So I just want you to understand this, guys, before I continue and then show you something else. Okay. Now, let's say, for example, I just want to make it practical to you. Let me change the color so that it can look different. Okay. Which color can I use? Okay, let me use. Let's say, for example, when you bought from your suppliers, they charged you VAT of 4,000. I'm just giving an example. Let's say the VAT that they charged you, meaning I'm referring to as you can see here, I'm referring to the input. Can you see? I just wrote it here. So they charged you 4,000. It means you can go and claim 4,000. But when you sold to your customers, you charged them 6,000. So this means you owe SARS 6,000, and then SARS owes you 4,000. Can you see now? So based on this, what we do in business, we don't go to SARS and pay SARS 6,000. What we do, we just check the difference and say, okay, what is the difference between the two amounts? So the difference between the two amounts is 2,000. Can you see now? The difference is 2,000. And out of that difference, we check who owes who between us and the business. If I may ask, if you can check this 2,000 between us and SARS, who owes who that 2,000? I just want to check if you get me here. So this 2,000 is either payable to us or it's either we pay to SARS. I will answer your question there after, Liam. We owe SARS. Tino said we owe SARS. Do you support Tino? We owe SARS. We owe SARS. Yes, you are correct. So we owe SARS. That's perfect. We owe SARS. So this amount, it means it is payable to SARS. It is payable to SARS. Can you see that? Because they can ask you in the test whether some amount is payable or claimable. Can you see now? So the amount is payable to SARS. So in business, we don't go and pay, let's say, for example, we pay SARS 6,000, and when we come back, SARS pays us 4,000. No, we always compare the two amounts and check who owes who. Sometimes the amount can be payable, sometimes can be claimable. Okay, let me go back to Liam's question. Will it have to be a supplier that you can claim back from? Let's say if you buy a car from for the company, could I claim back? Yes, remember supplier is not only, it depends who supplied you. A supplier can be someone who supplied you with the car, someone who supplied you with trading stock. Yes, you are correct, Liam. Even if you bought a car for the business, you can claim that car. But you need to be careful because SARS doesn't allow you to claim VAT on all the cars. But I'm still going to come to those things. Can you see? As long as the car is classified as the business vehicle, you can claim that particular VAT. But if it doesn't qualify for that, you cannot claim. But I'm still going to get that. But generally, Liam, you are correct. You can still claim that VAT from the supplier of the car. I hope it makes sense. Guys, I hope this makes sense. Perfect, Liam. Thank you so much. Perfect, 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 perfect. So I think I summarized everything that I needed to summarize. Okay. The claimable VAT, does it depend on the product? No, it depends. Yeah, Vin, it depends on the product that you bought or the item that you bought, because not all the items will be claimable. It's not all about the company policy. So company policy has got nothing to do with the claiming of VAT. VAT can only be controlled by SARS. So again, there are items where you can claim VAT. There are items which you cannot claim VAT. There are items which you can include VAT. There are items which you cannot include VAT. But I'm still going to go through that stuff with you. Okay. I hope everyone is following at the moment. Okay. Okay, guys, I'm just gonna share another thing. As long as you say you understand, it's okay. I'm gonna share something. Just bear with me for now. So honestly speaking, whatever I explained here, I summarize. You will see that the way we summarize it, we are on fire. So I'm just gonna wait. Just wait. System is a bit slow. I'm gonna share something. Sorry, guys, I've got a bit of flu today. I don't know. So bear with me if I hear some things here. I'm trying to drink warm water so that I can. So this is what I'm going to share, guys. Like I say, VAT and source document. For now, I'm focusing. Guys, can you all see my slides? Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. So, guys, as I said, whatever is on the slide is what I explained, guys. Can you see now? I think I covered everything. So you can see I tried to explain the difference between output and the input. Can you see now? So this is what I just talked about. So again, depending on whether the input is more than the output, the amount can either be payable or claimable. Can you see now? Like I said there, so it can either be payable or claimable. If the output VAT is more than the input VAT, is payable. If the input VAT is more than the output VAT, is claimable. Guys, I can't repeat myself, guys. I think I summarized everything. Let me know if you've got any question on this slide. Okay, no problem. I'm gonna move to the next one, guys. The next slide, obviously, the IT, they keep deleting my slides. I'm gonna load them again. Again, here, I explain this. I'm not gonna where I explain again. It's like when you are at home, you want to go and refresh. That's why I put these notes for you guys. Just go and use this once again. Okay, I'm not going to waste time. This is what I explained about. Again, you can look at the slide. If you've got any question, you may ask. Okay. Otherwise, I move on to the next. The same year, I'm explaining this. Don't worry, it's going to make sense soon as well. I'm not going to go through the theory once again. So that's why I'm saying I explained everything. Vin, what do you mean by say that levy? If you say levy, let me go back. Where is it? Where do you see that? This is the first slide. Oh no, it's just a word. So when I say VAT levied, it's like VAT charged. So the levy is like charged. Don't worry, it's just a verb that I used. Yes, charged by. Levy means charged. I meant charged by. Yes, it's not like a very special word. So I was just, maybe I should have used charged by the vendor. So the vendor is you, the owner of the business. Okay, so you charge VAT. Okay, now I get it. I get it. Thank you so much for that. Even here, I'm not gonna dwell much on this. It's gonna make sense by the time when can you see here? That's why I say sometimes. Remember, I said you need to ask yourself if the amount is including VAT. But don't worry, this one won't make sense at the moment. Don't worry, I'm gonna come back to it. So I need to focus on the other stuff. Okay, I'm gonna focus here. Remember what I said, ladies and gentlemen. I said sometimes some items are VATable, meaning you need to calculate VAT. But sometimes some items are not VATable. It means you must not calculate VAT. You don't pay VAT or you don't do that. Okay. So here, as you can see on my first slide here, we have got what we call standard rated. So if an item is called a standard rated according to SARS, what does this thing mean? This means that those items are VATable at 15%. For example, if you go to Pick and Pay, check your slip. There are some items which include VAT. They also wrote VAT there. So it means as long as that item includes VAT, it means that item is called standard rated items. And SARS has got its own way of checking which items are standard rated. So unfortunately, there's no specific formula that you can use. You must just know that this thing, according to SARS, is VATable. That's why here we've got few examples. There are too many of them, but I just put these ones together because based on my past experience, they play around this when they ask you in the exam. For example, here, white bread, you know that the white bread is including, when you buy white bread, that price of the bread includes VAT. So you must know that. This is one of the examples. A second. Delivery vehicle, for example, the one that you use in the, let's say in the business, that will include VAT. The trading stock, furniture, water and electricity bill, telephone bill, doctor subscriptions to the medical council, stationery, a kettle bought by the restaurant for use in their primary business, short-term insurance premiums, advertising, delivery vehicle that does not fit the scripture. This one is the same as I duplicated there. Electricity portion of the rates and taxes. So unfortunately, you just have to learn them and know that according to SARS, there are too many. But what I did, I put the ones that they are familiar together so that you can go through them. You need to know those things because they can ask you in the exam. When I go further, you can see here their business rent expenses, the owner's contribution of allowable furniture within 6 months. Can you see? It must be very specific according to SARS. Purchases of processed vegetables, S, that is not 9, by a restaurant, single cab vehicle, employee 2-night hotel, payment to the municipality, professional body fees for trading, transport by aeroplane tickets excluding taxes. Again, unfortunately, guys, there's nothing I can give you as a formula of remembering this. You must go and learn. But I put more your book has got less. You can also focus on your book and check the examples in your book. But for me, I put a lot because I lecture various groups. I know from BCom, I've seen this. I know from sports management, I saw this. I put them together for your advantage. So unfortunately, this is just the theory that you must go and learn. So these are just examples of the standard rated. Mostly of the things that we use are taxable, are VATable according to SARS. Can you see now? So these are just examples. So they are under standard rated. Standard rated, it means we are taxing them at 15%. Now I'm gonna go to the next group. Liam, things that you sell, yes, you can include VAT. Even the things that you buy, remember they do charge you from their side, yes. But things that you sell, you must check what are you selling. So if you are selling a white bread, you must include VAT of 15%. Can you see now? So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Those are the things that you sell. Because the ones that you bought, they will charge you already there. You don't have to worry about charging VAT because someone who sold to you will have charged VAT to you. I don't know if it makes sense, Liam. Thank you so much for that. Now, the other group of VAT. Hey, SARS is very clever. They say we have got items which are still taxed, but they are taxed at the rate of 0%. Someone can say, no, man, what is the difference between taxing 0% and not taxing at all? Yes, to you and me, there's not much difference, but to SARS side, there will be a difference. Let me give you an example. For you to qualify to register for VAT, you need to make revenue of 1 million. That is a rule from SARS. So for you to qualify to register for VAT, where they say you don't have an option, you must register, like it or not, you should have made revenue. By revenue, I'm referring to the sales. Let me just write it as sales here. You should have made sales of how much? Of 1 million. It means you automatically qualifies to register for VAT. So, but how will SARS determine the fact that you qualify for VAT? They normally use what you call the taxable supplies. In other words, they only use the items which fall under taxable supplies. We call them taxable supplies. Let me write it down. So taxable supplies, it means they are items where you have to be taxed. So it means SARS will take all the standard rated from the previous page and all the zero rated items and check if you made 1 million for that particular period. Yes, to me and you, 0% and no VAT at all is the same thing. But to SARS, it's very useful because for them to calculate if you qualify to register for VAT or not, they will need to look at the zero rated and the standard rated and add them together to check if you qualify to register for VAT or not. But in a nutshell, the zero rated are still taxed according to SARS, but they will tax you at 0%. These are the examples of zero rated, guys. You need to know them because they can ask you theory. A paraffin, zero rated. Sale of business as a going concern. So if I sell a business that is still useful, that is still viable, that is going to be taxed at 0%. Milk, petrol, diesel for use in the delivery vehicle, illuminating paraffin that is used by the factory. When you sell to the other countries, when you buy another business, brown bread is still taxable, but they will tax you at 0%. So these are the examples of zero rated items. They are still taxed, but at a rate of 0%. But what about the standard rated? They are taxed at 15%. Any questions, guys, so far? I hope everyone understands. The next one, we've got another group of items. We've got what we call exempt. By exempt, what do we mean? It means at all they are not taxable. Someone can say they are the same as standard rated because they are the same as zero rated because zero rated are taxed at 0%. No, they are not the same from the SARS perspective, né? But from our side, it's the same because not taxable and 0% is the same for us. So all these things that you see here, according to SARS, you cannot tax them. If you are using a train, rail transport, can you see now? Just know that they are not. If you have got a loan and they charge you interest on overdraft, the bank cannot charge you VAT on that. Any interest on fixed deposit, so for example, if for example you invested your money and you get the interest on the investment, they cannot charge you VAT on that. Okay, the life assurance or insurance, the raised portion of rates and taxes, rent paid to the non-vendor, the donation to Red Cross, like if you donate to a non-profit organization, can you see now? The rent for owner's son, can you see now? Public transport, you know that taxi industry, they don't pay VAT at all. So these are examples of the services whereby you don't have to calculate VAT at all. You don't pay VAT at all. If you can check, most of them are government related services. Can you see? Even if let's say you know taxi, they say we need taxis to in our daily basis. On our daily basis, we need taxis. If you are using how train is not VATable. Can you see now? Public services are not VATable. Can you see now? So we need to check those things. Yes, with tax. Remember, tax is very broad. It can either be income tax, it can either be VAT. But when it comes to income tax, you can use the interest from the bank to avoid paying too much tax. Because that interest that you incurred because you have a loan can be used against SARS so that you can end up paying lower tax. In that case, is then that we talk about tax avoidance. Yes, you can avoid SARS by using the bank loans because the bank loans will generate interest, and those interest on loans can be used against SARS. You are spot on, Kamo. You are correct. You are correct. Okay. I hope we all understand exempt. So what you're gonna do, guys, you must use my slides. You must also use the book because there are too many exempt items in according to SARS. But remember, here is according to our syllabus. No, it's not corrupt. It's not correct. He's doing everything according to the book. You can also avoid capital gains tax by financing an item. That's true because the finance items are not taxed. Something which has got what you call the financing component in it. You can avoid SARS in that way. You are correct, Liam. You are correct. Yeah, I know. You guys, I'm telling you, you're gonna be very good businessmen in the future because I can see you think about ways of not paying SARS, and I'm happy of the fact that you are thinking about the legal ways of not paying tax, not the illegal ways. Can you see now? I like the way you think, guys. I like the way you think. Okay, you must always try to avoid SARS, but do not evade SARS because the minute you evade SARS, that becomes illegal. Are you good? Otherwise, I'm gonna go to the next one. The next category is called non-allowable. Remember when I started here, guys, I said sometimes, remember, you pay VAT when you buy some stuff, you pay VAT to the suppliers. Remember, I said that VAT is claimable. But I said sometimes SARS can prohibit you or stop you from claiming the input VAT that you were supposed to claim. That's why here I called it denied input VAT. Yes, by the time when you bought some items from the suppliers, they charged you VAT. Generally, that VAT must be claimable from SARS. But SARS says for these items, you cannot claim VAT which you paid. In most cases, those items are related to the entertainment of your staff. For example, if you buy something for your staff, they will charge you VAT. The suppliers will charge you VAT. But SARS said no, the staff-related items are classified as the entertainment expenses. So SARS does not allow you to claim those entertainment expenses. As you can see here, we've got staff room fridge. In other words, you bought a fridge for the staff, you cannot. You bought white bread for the staff lunches, you cannot. Staff micro oven, you cannot. Business subscription to the local golf club, you cannot. A kettle for the office kitchen used by the staff, you cannot. Staff lunches in general, you cannot. If you have bought a double cap, you cannot claim VAT on it. But if you bought a single cap, you can claim VAT on it. Okay. Staff function at the restaurant. Can you see? In most cases, anything that you use for the staff related items, you cannot claim from SARS. Liam said, what is double cap? A double cap is this vehicle, this van that I don't know how can I explain it. Ne? It has got 4 seaters, but it's still a van. Do you understand what I mean? A buggy, yes, a buggy which has got 4 seats or 5 seats, but still at the back, you still have a space there at the back. I don't know if I'm explaining it very well. Yes, that is the double cap. It's like all in one. Eh? You can use it for your private purposes at the same time you can use it for business. But SARS says if you're using double cap for your business, forget about it. You cannot claim VAT on it. But if you only have a single cap, you can claim VAT on it. Can you see? SARS has got their own ways. That's why I'm saying I can't say use this formula to check if you can pay SARS or claim SARS from the no. You need to know this is according to SARS. Yes, a single cap and the other vehicles which you can use for other businesses. So here I'm very specific for a buggy. For a buggy, you can only claim VAT on a single cap. But it doesn't mean that you cannot claim VAT on the other vehicles. You can still claim VAT for other vehicles as long as you classify them as business vehicles. They can be used in the vehicle. But SARS has got a way of explaining it. But yes, when it comes to the buggies, you can only claim on the single cap. Okay, thank you for that. These are just examples, guys, so you need to go and understand them thoroughly. If you've got any questions, guys, ask, guys. So how many minutes do you need as a break? 10 minutes, is it okay? $10 minutes, okay, guys? Guys, can you still hear me? Okay, we can take our 10 minutes. Let's be back around, no problem. By 10 past 3, let's be back, guys, at 10 past 3. I'm just gonna take a short break and then I'll see you when I see you guys. 10 past, we meet again. Thank you, guys.